Hey, what's up, everybody? How we doing? Woo! You guys are super excited, right? You gotta be excited. I saw everybody out there playing ping pong, playing air hockey. Who's winning in air hockey right now? Do we have anybody? Tearing it up? Nice. All right, good. Well, hey, we have got an incredible night planned. It is going to be so awesome. I am so glad that all of you are here. We have got Doan who's going to be coming out. We have got Bryan Drake's going to be doing some awesome stuff. And we have got some incredible worship that's going to be happening here in just a moment. So we got prizes. I know everybody loves prizes, so we do have prizes. So make sure that you stick around because we're going to be giving those out here in just a few minutes. But before any of that happens, the band's going to tear it up here in just a minute. Here we go.
Over the past 5 years, the Legacy Men's Conference has had speakers like Bob Goff, Chris Brown, and Jeff Robertson who have challenged, inspired, and encouraged men. When we take the time to stretch, learn, and strengthen our faith, we become everything God has built us for, to live and leave a godly legacy. Join this movement of husbands, fathers, brothers, and friends who desire to grow in their walk with Christ.
Well, all right. How are we doing tonight? Hey, we're excited you're here. Let's stand and sing together. It's going to be a fun night. Come on, we sing that praise be a weapon. Praise be a weapon that silences the enemy. Let praise be a weapon that conquers all anxiety. Let it rise. Let praise arise. We sing your name in the dark and it changes everything. We sing with all we are and we claim your victory. Let it rise.
Down every get to continue in worship by just bringing glory to his name and praising the one who made us all happy. No creation suddenly articulate with 1,000 tongues to lift one cry. Then from north to south and east to west, we'd hear Christ be magnified. Yes, we would. And we're the whole earth echoing his eminence. Now his name would burst from sea to sky, and from rivers to the mountain tops, we'd hear Christ be magnified. Yes, we would. Sing this with me. And sing, oh, Christ be magnified. Let his praise arise. Christ be magnified in me. And sing, oh, Christ be magnified from the altar of my life. Christ be magnified in me. Oh, yes, we believe it. When every creature finds its inmost melody, and every human heart its native cry, oh, then in one enraptured hymn of praise, we'll sing Christ be magnified. Oh, be lifted high. Sing, oh, Christ be magnified. Let his praise arise. Christ be magnified in me. Sing, oh, Christ be magnified from the altar of my life. Christ be magnified in me. So I believe, and I won't bow to idols. I'll stand strong and worship you. And if it puts me in the fire, I'll rejoice 'cause you're there too. And I won't be fooled by feelings. I'll hold fast to what is true. If the cross brings transformation, then I'll be crucified with you. 'Cause death is just a doorway into resurrection life. And if I join you in sufferings, then I'll join you when you rise. And when you return in glory, all the angels and the saints, my heart will still be singing. Come on, my soul will be the same. Sing, oh, Christ be magnified. Let his praise arise. Christ be magnified in me. Sing, oh, Christ be magnified from the altar of my life. Christ be magnified in me. Sing again. Oh, Christ be magnified. Let his praise arise. Christ be magnified in me. One more time, all together. Christ be magnified from the altar of my life. Christ be magnified in me. Oh, we lift you high, Lord. Come on, every voice, we sing, how great the chasm, how
great the chasm that lay between us, how high the mountain I could not climb. In desperation, I turned to heaven and spoke your name into the night. And through the darkness, your loving kindness tore through the shadows of my soul. The work is finished, the end is written. Jesus Christ, my living hope. Oh, you're my living hope. Who could imagine so great a mercy? What heart could fathom such boundless grace? The God of ages stepped down from glory to wear my sin and bear my shame. The cross has spoken, I am forgiven. The King of Kings calls me his own. Beautiful Savior, I'm yours forever. Jesus Christ, my living hope. Come on, we sing hallelujah. Hallelujah. Praise the one who set me free. Hallelujah. Death has lost its grip on me. You have broken every chain. There's salvation in your name. Jesus Christ, my living hope. Then came the morning that sealed the promise. Your buried body began to breathe. Out of the silence, the roaring lion declared the grave has no claim on me. Amen. Came the morning that sealed the promise. Your very body began to breathe. Out of the silence, the roaring lion declared the grave has no claim on me. Jesus, yours is the victory. Hallelujah. Praise the one who set me free. Hallelujah. Death has lost its grip on me. You have broken every chain. There's salvation in your name. Jesus Christ, my living hope. Hallelujah. Praise the one who set me free. Hallelujah. Death has lost its grip on me. You have broken every chain. There's salvation in your name. Jesus Christ, my living hope. Jesus Christ, my living hope. Amen. Amen. Hey, thanks so much for worshiping with us. You guys can grab a seat.
How we doing tonight? You guys doing okay? All right. My name is Bryan Drake, and I say we get this part started right about now. Are y'all with me? Yeah. Come on now, I'm glad to be with y'all. Look, I'm from Mobile, Alabama. My wife, Carla, and I, we travel all across the country. There we go. Thank you. Just one guy from Alabama. Everybody else is like, who cares? I don't know. We were from Arizona. No. We are so pumped to be with y'all tonight in real person. We are illusionists, mentalists, as it were. Now, everything you see tonight is fake from us. Now, the rest of it's real, but everything you see tonight is fake. It's not real. Like, you can learn how to do what I'm doing given time and practice and, like, lack of social skills. You know what I'm saying? It's possible. So, hey, what's your name, dude? Landon? It's my middle name. How cool was that?
That's pretty cool.
It's not really, though. That would have been awesome, though, Landon. We could have made a connection. People would have thought, wow, he's already in your head. Anyway, I'm not. Come with me, Landon. Come right up here up these stairs. Give Landon a big hand right now. Come on. Come right here, Landon. Landon, I have a very important job for you. Come on over here, man, right here. You and I are gonna come up with a big random number using this group of people out here. It's a good looking group of guys, right?
Yeah.
Give or take one or two, you know what I'm saying? You know who you are. That guy with the LSU shirt, I saw it on. I was like, what are you doing? Get out of here. I'm kidding. I'm only partially kidding. Here's what's up. Let's see, let's go right here. Flannel, sir, give me a number between 1 and 10. 7. So I would have picked 7 as well. Genius, Landon. 7 times. Are you right-handed or left-handed, Landon?
Right-handed.
Here, first of all, I don't know where you've been. You're a kid and stuff, so you're probably filthy. Get a little shot of that. Perfect. Okay, so hold out your right hand for me. Very stiff, very still. Do not mess this up, Landon, or the entire night is ruined.
Okay.
7 times. Perfect. All right, so right there, kind of pensively leaning right here with your, yes, excellent, sir. Would you give me a 2-digit number?
25.
25. Now do something besides 5s because everybody picks 5. So go up or down. You could be even, could be odd, doesn't matter. 25. I like it, sir. It's also my favorite number. Did you know that? It's not true, Landon. I'm already lying. It's 27 times. Let's go, sir, right here in the front. Give me a 3-digit number. Anything between 100 and 1,000. No 5s or 0s. Don't be weird, sir. 486. I like it. Lando, here's what I want you to do. Wait, 486 or 466? Yeah, okay, times. Are you thinking now of a 4-digit number? You're not yet, but you are now. Anything above 1,000, below 10,000.
You want me to say it?
Don't say it out loud, Lando.
Okay.
Okay, it's a serious business. You got it in your head? Punch it in right here.
Okay.
Hit the equal sign. Look, hold this. Your job is very simple. I'm gonna get you to read that total off into the microphone, 1 digit at a time. I'm gonna spray paint that total up here on the sheet. That way it's super visible to everybody. Say hello into the microphone.
Hello.
One more time.
Hello.
Everybody?
All right.
All right, Lando, start with that. What is it, a 4? Yeah.
4. 8.
Okay.
4.
4.
0.
0. That's how they do it in France. Did you know that, Landon? I don't know if you knew that or not. It's fancy that way.
Okay.
484, 0.
Another 0.
Another 0.
6. Another 6.
Another 6. Perfect.
And then a 2.
Just put that little arrow there so we can all see where that goes. Thanks for timing and spacing that out for me perfectly, Landon. I appreciate you giving me all the space I needed. So 484-00662. That may come into play later on depending on how well you did. Give Landon a humongous round of applause. Actually, you know what? I want you to do one more thing. You say, but Bryan, I don't know, man. I want to do one more thing. Great, I've got something. Would you verify for everybody that I did not ask you to do this ahead of time, correct? We didn't meet, we didn't talk about this. How's your eyesight?
Pretty good.
Pretty good. You seem really excited to be up here. I like that, Landon. You know what this is?
A banana.
It's a banana. It's an ordinary handheld banana. This banana, however, has a bit of a haircut in it. You know what those are?
No.
Needles. You have a fear of needles, Landon?
Am I supposed to say something?
Do you have a fear of needles? You say yes or no, Bryan?
No.
No, perfect. Hold out your tongue for me then. I'm kidding. We're not allowed to do that anymore, Landon. I apologize. Hold this just like this. Now here's the 2 hands. Make it look more dramatic. Here's the deal. Lando, I should clarify, and for the rest of you out here, I don't care if you're 17 or 7D, do not try this at home, anywhere, at your friend's, at your buddy's house when y'all are smoking a brisket. Don't be like, hey, watch this thing I saw up there at the church the other night. Don't try it. super tense right now, Landon. Now, to protect you, it's 2020. Put that on, don't be lazy. We don't need that anymore. That's just for a joke. I don't know if that's how fast they're swallowing or not, to be quite honest with you. Some of you are like, he's in such control of his body and his esophagus. No, look, Landon, here's the deal. This is why you're up here. This is why you have the face shield, okay? This is disgusting and I apologize ahead of time. Nothing?
Nothing.
Perfect. Those suckers are a little bit fibrous though, Landon. A little bit of mint waxed dental floss. Spared no expense. Thank you. No, we're not gonna do it to the music. Levitating. Kidding, no. That was to the music, but you have to appreciate that looked good. It burns the entire way down. That mint wax, it makes it smooth, but it feels like acid on the esophagus, okay? Here's your job, you ready? Nothing? Perfect. So here's the, hold out your hands, hold out your hands. No, I'm kidding, stop. Boom, there we go, brand new necklace. Just like that for you, Landon. No, I'm kidding, you can get out of here. Thank you so much, Landon. Wonderful job, awesome job, buddy. So, no, we are beyond excited to hang out with y'all tonight. We have a lot of fun stuff planned in the next little bit of time. We are from Mobile, but we travel all across the country, across the world, up until about February 29th of this year, right? It's been a crazy year, but rather than dwell on all that kind of negative stuff, we're gonna have a good time tonight. We're gonna enjoy each other's company. We're just gonna have some fun. So a lot of y'all ask ahead of time and throughout the day and throughout things like that, you say, Bryan, how do you get started doing these kind of tricks and illusions? Well, I got started, I would go around showing people card tricks on my college campus. Now there's an inherent problem in a room, even of this size with cameras, it still is kind of hard to see in a room like this if I come out here amongst you. Let's see what I need. You seem relatively untrustworthy, sir. What's your name? Anthony. I'm just kidding, Anthony. You seem like a wonderful chap. Anthony, do me a favor. Take out a card. No, see, here's the problem. None of you can see that. It doesn't matter if we have cameras. Stand up. Shuffle, 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 mix, mix, mix until your heart is content, Anthony. And you have a big heart, clearly, it seems like, so shuffle it up. So that was a health thing, actually, not like an emotional thing. You literally have a big heart. No, I'm kidding. I need 4 other people to help me out with this. I'm gonna point at you. Let's go, you, sir. I like your jacket. Stand up for me. Let's go. He's like, pick this guy right here. Would you stand up for me, sir, as well? Let's go, actually, hey, why don't we get you, since it'd be the only lady in the house. Let's go, stand up besides Carla. You stand up as well, and then let's go, you right there. You seem trustworthy, awesome. Come with me, you 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Follow me and give them a humongous round of applause right now. Awesome job. Mind the stairs, they're a little bit narrow there, so take some Germ-X on the way in. Here, I touched Landon, he might be contagious. What's that? You got your own deck? No, don't bring that. We don't need your own deck of cards. Get out of here. Come over here for me. Stand over here. Kind of space yourselves out a little bit over here, but you, Anthony, come over here. You stand beside me. The rest of you guys going over there, okay? Do me a favor, put those, make sure, first of all, those are all different cards, right? No, you look. They probably think you're lying. I'm kidding. Put them in my hand now, face up, but first of all, make sure you can't see through them back. There's no markings or anything like that. Perfect. And then last but not least, I didn't ask any of you to do this ahead of time, did I not? No? No, and no. Perfect. Put those in my hand, face up. Awesome. So we're gonna put these out of sight, out of mind. Your job is very simple, Anthony. I want you to hold on to the deck of cards for me in your right hand. Hold it up high. Put your left hand here. Very patriotic. Look at that. Wonderful. Isn't that great? So, here's what's gonna happen. You as an audience are gonna be mentalistas. That is a multiple form of mentalist. You're gonna dive inside of these 5 unsuspecting victim spectators' heads up here. And the way this is gonna work is you're all gonna look at them, evaluate them. Character probably matters, you know. Look at them and see, okay, what card do I think they're having? Okay, so I'm gonna start, then I'm gonna look to you. But to verify, all of you are gonna need to know 2 pieces of information. You probably already do because you had a deck of cards with you. And unless you just happen to be a raving gambler, I'm assuming you know something about magic or cards. 2 things that you have to know. Number 1, Landon, is that you need to know that the numbers and letters of the cards, aces or A's, they're really 1s, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, J, K, Q, J, K, Q. The jack is 11, 12, 13. You have that? You know that? Yeah. Then you have the suits. Hearts look like hearts, diamonds look like diamonds, spades look like upside down black hearts, and clubs look like a puppy dog had a sawmill accident. So it's tragic. I apologize. It was your dog, Landon. It's even worse now, didn't it? It got real, didn't it? It's tragic. Perfect. Here's the deal. Make sure, Anthony, that all the cards are out. Your order's preserved?
Yep.
Perfect. Face up or face down?
Face up.
Face up. Let's turn it face down. Excuse me, there should be a table right here. Yes?
Yep.
Perfect. Take the top card off the deck. Look at it, memorize it. Hold it against your chest. And I want you to stand right here for me. Jeff.
Jay.
What?
Jay.
Jay, I was so close. So close. Jay, take the top card off the deck. Look at it, memorize it. Hold it against your chest. Stand here next to Tony right here. We'll call you Tony for short. Matt, Bill, Steve, Chester, probably Chester. Take the top card off, what's your name? Dylan. Chester, perfect. Take the top card off the deck. Look at it, memorize it. Stand right there. What's your name, buddy?
Bryan.
Brian?
Yep.
Brian, you had cards with you ahead of time. Starting to feel like I'm gonna be replaced. Brian, come over here for me. Take the top card off the deck. Look at it, memorize it, Brian. Thank you so much. Stand here next to Chester. And then, ma'am, what's your name? Yep. What's it? Deb. I thought you said yep. I was like, well, yeah, you're the last one. Deb, come over here, take the top card off the deck. Look at it, memorize it. And stand here next to Brian. Well, duh, I should have known that. Right over here next to Brian. Excellent. Now, in just a second, I'm gonna snap my fingers. When I do, I want you to drop your head and close your eyes like this. You gotta do it when I snap though. It looks way cooler, okay? They'll appreciate it, Jay. Other thing, hold your other hand up, kind of like a pterodactyl, like, ah! That's how they sound, okay? Stop it, Chester. Here we go. 1, 2, something like, what is happening tonight? What are we doing? 2, 3. Let's do this. You look great. Hold on to that for me, just like that. You happy with that? You good with that? This is on you if this goes wrong. Just know that, okay? Okay, we can do that. Obviously, right? I mean, come on. Hold on that for me. Okay, just a matching pair then, okay. That's just for me. I really enjoy that moment. Thank you for allowing me that. Thank you, sir. Hold on to that for me. All right, keep your eyes closed. In just a second now, And that's why I don't do sports. So, just a second now, I'm gonna say some cards out loud. If you hear me say the card you looked at, the one you're holding against your chest, let go of the piece of paper in your hand. Jack of clubs, 2 of diamonds, ace of hearts, 2 of hearts, 10 of clubs. Boom, 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 boom. That's all 5. Let's see what we got. We have let's see. Here's the 10 of clubs. There's the 2 of hearts. Here's the ace of hearts. There's the ace of hearts. That was a good catch. 2 of diamonds and the jack of clubs. Give them a humongous round of applause. Awesome job. You guys can go ahead and head back to your seat. Thank you so much. You can head back. Oh, what's that? Yeah, absolutely. Have fun. All right. Well, you can take them back to your seat if you want. No, I don't want them. You want this? Yeah, no, you can have this. I'll tell you what. Here, you can have this in a minute. I'll give it back to you afterwards. We'll put it up here on the back of the stage. It'll look like Splash Mountain. You can come back up and take a picture. It'll be like, Splash Mountain was a ride at Disney. You used to be able to go to this place. It was wonderful. Anyway, look, here's the deal. So what we do is called suggestion. It's illusions that take place inside of your head. Now again, everything we do is fake, and I'm gonna pull back the curtain a little bit wider here in just a little bit on why we do these tricks and illusions and things that we do. But before we do that, we're gonna have a little bit of fun. Carl and I are typically on a lot of college campuses with Crew, formerly Campus Crusade, doing ministry, doing outreach on different college campuses, different churches all over the country, across the world. And one of the things we like to do is kind of actually reveal certain methods in the show that we do without revealing how they work, but just kind of giving you just enough of a clue to where you go, okay, maybe he wasn't lying. Maybe it really is psychology. And it's fun because our show is called Dual Reality, and it has 3 meanings. We'll talk about that in a little while. But dual reality has 3 meanings, and one of them is that is a method when it comes to illusions. But number 2 is this notion that you're gonna see a lot of things tonight that don't make sense at the moment, but they will later. But this one is one of my favorites to do. You've been given 2 choices now, red or blue. Here's what's about to happen. I'm about to show you a video. Some of you, you won't care, but some of you are gonna watch this video, and you're gonna be really keyed into it watching and thinking, that's interesting. Maybe your palms look a little bit sweaty. Don't worry, you're in Arizona, so it'll evaporate right off. In Alabama, it would just stay there for days. It's disgusting. Look, trust me. Here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna show you this video, but while you're watching this video, I'm going to be watching you. So the choice is yours, red or blue. Check this out.
Do you want to know what it is? What? A minute ago you said blue. Did I say blue? Yes, you said blue. On that red. You take the blue pill.
You must unlearn what you have learned.
You take the red pill. You stay in Wonderland.
You must choose. Choose wisely.
Which one? Which one?
You must choose. You must choose.
Which one? Which one? You hear me? Give my creation life!
You must choose. But choose wisely.
Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
Sam, here's the deal. I want you to come over here with me. You have one choice to make. You ready for this? Again, we didn't plan this ahead of time, did we? Perfect. I want you to stand right here for me, Sam. And here's the thing. When I snap my fingers in a second, I want you to are you right-handed or left-handed? Perfect. I want you to take your left hand, because this is going to be off your brain a little bit, throwing you off what you would normally do to rupture the patterns that you normally make. Does that make sense? Probably not, but just freestyle in here. So here's the deal. I'm gonna close my eyes and snap. When I do, I want you to point to one of these 2 bags. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Whichever bag we're pointing at, you're gonna use. You happy with this? Perfect. Perfect. You pointed here, huh? Yeah. Really? Yeah. Did you watch the video earlier? I did. Huh. Okay, so that's fine. No, that's fine. You do you. Sam? Yeah, you do you, Sam. That's fine. Look, here's the deal. You don't want this one, huh? Okay, well, that would have been cool. Listen, I should have told y'all this choice that Sam just made is also a personality test. It's a little bit of it also tells us a little bit about him, whether he's a sociopath or not. We clearly know that's probably the case now. But look, Sam, here's the deal. I'm only kidding. What you're going to do is something different. I have a backup plan for you. Your job is very simple. I want you to notice what we have here. This is what's called an animal train. For obvious reasons, Landon, it's animals in a train. So we got a cat in the caboose because I like alliterations. Cat, caboose. You got a bunny in the middle. Let's just go on. I don't really have anything for that. And then up here driving the train, you've got this weird looking like Cajun sort of bear/badger sort of amalgam. I don't know what we'll go with badger. It's not a real thing, but if it was probably be endangered anyway. Okay, so look, badgers, they're ferocious too, and they carry rabies. Just be aware of that, okay? That's how they sound. Stop it. One more thing. They are endangered. So Sam, tonight, for the cost of 1 cup of coffee a day, you too could save the life of an entire badger family. Think about that. Sign up in the back. Here's the deal. You are now gonna help me with something. I'm joking about all this stuff. We're actually on the same team, okay? You're gonna color these images. We have 6 different images here, 6 different markers here. The way it's gonna work is you're gonna reach over, you're gonna take a marker out, you're gonna uncap it. I'm gonna tell you one of these 6 things to color. You'll color that thing, you'll then cap that marker, throw it in the cube, and we'll rinse and repeat until all the markers and all the things have been colored. Make sense? Perfect. So, Sam, to make it a little bit more interesting, is I'm going to be blindfolded while we do this. So, you notice I have some Gorilla Tape up here. They haven't sponsored us yet. They should, because this is really nice stuff. Gorilla Tape, here's what I want you to do. Sam, I want you to hold out your fingers like an outlaw. Excellent. Perfect. This is piece number 1.
Okay.
Piece number 2. Sticky stuff. Thank you. I'll be here all night. Piece number 3. Okay, piece number 1 goes across here, right across the eyebrows. It's gonna hurt, I know. Then look, piece number 2 will go right down here, covering any gaps that would have. Piece number 3 will go right across here. Make sense? All right, so you make sure that this is pushed up against my eyes. Okay? Piece 2 will go here.
Okay. All right.
Just right across. Yeah, that feels great. Ah, that's one right in the hair. I love it. That's great. And the piece 3 goes right across here.
Got it.
Excellent. Now, make sure that it's pushed in and all really good. There's no gaps or cracks or anything like that. Yeah. Thank you so much. I'm sorry I'm yelling right in your face. Lead me over here to the side. Tell me when I get a little bit too far. Oh, perfect. Thank you for the nice push. Appreciate that. There should be a table over here. Yes? Do you see the table? Perfect. When we start, tell me when you've got a marker. Whoever. Take the first marker out you touch. You have one? I want you to color in the bunny this time. Go ahead and knock out the bunny. Well, actually, let's do the cat. Go ahead and knock out the cat this time. Scribble on it as in the side where people can see it based on what color it is, okay? Perfect. Take the first marker out you want to use. Sam, tell me when you have one. You have one? Okay, I want you to color in the caboose section of the train. So it's the thing that the cat is riding in. Make sense? Perfect. That sounds beautiful, by the way. It's like you're an artist. When you're done, cap that marker and throw it. Take the next marker out you want to use. Tell me when you have one. Perfect. I want you to color the... No, you're fine. No. Color the badger this time, wherever the badger is. There should be a badger up here. It's the Cajun-looking one. Sorry. That's how they sound, Landon. Stop it. Maybe you can go on a wildlife hunt and find one. It's amazing. Perfect. Take the next marker out. It sounds like you just threw one. Tell me when you have one. You have one? Perfect. I want you to color it. Go ahead and knock out the bunny this time for real. Not literally, although they are delicious, Sam. I'm not going to lie to you. Being from Alabama, that's how we roll. When you're done, cap that marker, throw it. Tell me when you have the next one. You do? Okay, I want you to color in the engine section of the train this time, okay? How many choices do we have left? Just one. So take the last marker out and then color in the last thing, and then we'll get moving on this next part here. You got it? Perfect. Oh, that's painful. Good news is my pores are clean. So, awesome. Thanks so much. So, Sam, here's what we have here. We're going to recap. We normally do this mid-show. It's great. I love to just get a massage mid-show. And so, no. So, I'll take that right here, and then we will rock and roll and recap from here. So, we are back. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you. Wonderful job. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much. You guys have been phenomenal, and I really do mean that. Thank you for fixing that. So, it was not on them. It was totally on me. So, here's the deal. You have pink, green, yeah, you got a little lazy on the green, don't lie. No, I'm just kidding. Pink, green, yellow, orange, blue, red. Now, you made a choice earlier, and I made this big thing about maybe you're a sociopath. Ha, ha, ha. We all had a laugh. We don't know if that's true or not yet. But what we do know is you chose the red bag, correct? Show us what you did not choose. Hand me that bag over there. Oh, careful that. Don't roll your ankle on that. You're like rookie of the year. So, this feels empty, right? Do you know why? The bag you did not choose is 100% empty. I was totally joking about all that. You did a wonderful job in choosing the red bag, free choice. Would you come hand me the red bag? It's a little bit different, you'll notice. Feels a little bit heavier. You know why? There's something in there. Now look, I'm gonna show you what's in there, but before I show them, you take a look while I recap one more time. Pink, green, yellow, orange, blue, red. It's almost like you made the right choice.
Yeah, they like the way I do this. When I click it like a yeah, they like the way I
Awesome job, Sam. Thank you so much. You did a wonderful job, man. Have a great, you can have a seat, man. Oh yeah, actually, here, your art. There you go. Thanks so much, Sam. Wonderful job. You did a great job. Thank you so much, Sam. So, we have a good time doing this. We love getting to partner, especially with men's ministries, and getting to pour into the lives of those who pour into our families all across the country and across the world, especially here in Arizona. It's been we've had a blast just getting to see your state in the last couple hours. I know that seems crazy, but this is one of those few states where you can go, oh, dang, the whole place is beautiful, literally everywhere you go. So, wonderful place. And I'm so thankful that you're here tonight. I know some of you are watching online. I'm so thankful that you're tuning in and checking it out. Thank you for doing that and really taking seriously this call for us to even be here and the reason that we're here. Now, one of the things I want to show you before, we got one more big piece of the puzzle I'm going to show you in a minute, but there's two smaller pieces of this puzzle I want to show you before we get there. One piece is this. The reason Carla and I do what we do is because when I was 15 years old, it ain't 15 years ago anymore, sadly. When I was 15 years old, people asked us, okay, Bryan, why do you do the illusions though? You told us how you got started by doing card tricks, but why do you do it? When I was 15, I encountered truth and it changed my life completely, totally from the inside out, right? I encountered the gospel of Jesus and it changed my life, boom, completely, right? And ever since then, I've noticed that the culture we live in is obsessed with lies, it's obsessed with deception. And a lot of the times, sometimes we as adults, and I'm including myself in that because I am one, even though I don't want to admit that sometimes, but we've got two little girls. We have a 6-year-old and a 2-year-old, and seeing the culture that they are raised in all the time, it blows our mind, right? And so we figured, okay, how can we use whatever gifts, talents, and abilities that God has given us to build the kingdom, whatever it is, whether it be doing illusions, whether it be being able to smoke the best brisket on the planet and then using that opportunity to share the gospel, whether you're a carpenter, an electrician, whatever it is, using those talents and gifts, right? And so we've been doing this for a long time, and I get to meet people, and Carla gets to meet people all over the place. And one of the things that we notice that the story changes somewhat, but the root of that story stays the same. We meet people all over, and they'll come up to us and say, hey, Bryan, had a good time at your show. And then they'll tell us their story. I'll never forget this as long as I live. This was up in Oregon a few years ago, in Bend, Oregon. Anybody ever been up to Bend? It's a gorgeous town, you know what I'm saying? Girl comes up to me, she's 16 years old. She says, hey, Bryan, I had a good time at your show today. I said, oh, that's cool. She said, no, listen to me. I gave my life to Jesus. I said, oh, that's amazing. She said, no, stop, listen. Let me tell you where I was 1 week ago. I said, what's up? She said, 1 week ago, I was in a hospital on suicide watch. Now, my brain did the same thing many of your brains probably did. It just started asking questions, but they didn't get to my mouth. It's like they stopped, and she answered me before I could say it. She said, Bryan, listen, I wasn't gonna kill myself because I was seeking attention or I wanted to get more clout on social media. I was gonna do it because I hated myself. I felt like I was nothing. 16 years old. This is the culture of oppression that we're just pushing on to people all over the place. Not we, but the culture is pushing on to us. Just bitterness and pain. She said, but I found out, Bryan, there were people in my life who cared about me enough, they brought me to the hospital. Then they brought me here this morning, and I found out that not only do people care about me, but that God cares about me. Capital G God, the same God that made everything you can see to everything you can't see, from the colossal cosmic universe to that microscopic cellular level. That same God loves me, died for me, rose for me, he's coming back for me. She said, Bryan, I said yes to that, and I no longer want to take my life. I've been given new life. And Carl and I made a promise that when we started doing this, we would never do an event anywhere that we didn't tell some form of that story, whether it be a newer version of it that we hear on the road or what's happened in our own lives. That girl didn't know it, Kiara, but she was echoing what the Apostle Paul said 2,000 years ago. He said, if anyone's in Christ, they're a new creation. Old things pass away, but behold, everything is new. In our brokenness, in our sin, we're crushed, we're broken, we're empty like the last drops have been poured out of us. But if we're in Christ, we're a new creation. Old things pass away, behold, everything. 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 It's made new. Now look, I'll do that trick for two reasons. Number one, it looks just as good from my angle. So every time I do it, I'm like, this is so cool. You know what I'm saying? But number two is every single person in the free world knows that sound of psh. It means fresh, clean, pure, new. That's what the gospel offers. And that is why Carl and I do what we do in this truth. But still one big piece in the end of the puzzle I want to show you. But before we get there, I have one more piece I want to show you. That doesn't make sense. You say, what are you talking about? Here's what's up. Tonight is an amazing night to get together and come together as men and hang out and have a good time and play air hockey. And somebody's gonna probably steal that truck because my goodness, did you see it? It's got Black Widow lights. I mean, it's amazing. It's probably gonna be me. But here's the deal. It's gorgeous. We're having a good time. But tomorrow you're gonna wake up and you have a choice. What am I gonna do with what I learned tonight or what I listened to tonight at the conference? What am I gonna do with it tomorrow? And so I wanna challenge you before we do this last effect with this one little piece, just a little bit of a challenge. What are you gonna do tomorrow when you wake up? Because in the morning, it's gonna be the best day of your life. Do you know why? Because if you wake up with breath in your lungs, God has given you a chance to live for him and his kingdom. You say, that sounded like a Sunday school answer. It is, but it's true. Think about it for a minute. This has been a crazy year. For us personally, Carla and I have walked through COVID and cancellations of our schedule, and Carla had thyroid cancer this year in the middle of all of it. So it's been a nutty, nutty year, but God has been faithful all throughout. And what we've learned is that in the chaos, in the craziness, in the storm, God has got a plan, a purpose, and a promise, and a plan for our life and your life. Sometimes we feel mixed up in the chaos, in the craziness of this moment, shuffled up in the mix as if things could not have any purpose. Anthony, are you still in here, buddy? Where'd you go? Anthony, let me ask you a question. You and I, we did not set that up, correct? We didn't make a plan for that. You shuffled those cards. You could have stopped anywhere, but you gave us this order to get 5 cards in a specific order, which was you standing here, you standing here, you standing here, you standing here, you standing. There it is a factorial. If you're a math guy, factorial, 52 times 51 times 50 times 49 times 48. That's how many different combinations this could be. Now, a whole deck of cards is 10 times 6 to the 8, 10 times 8 to the 67th power. That's 10 times 8 with 67 zeros behind it. But just 5? It's like 400,000 combinations, but you gave us this combination on this day. Here's what's amazing. Tomorrow morning, you're gonna wake up and go, how did he do that? That was crazy. Because in the chaos, in the craziness, in the shuffle, you gave us this order. Do you remember though, what I told you that some of these numbers represent in a deck of cards? Do you remember what an ace is? Ace is a 1, yes? A jack is an 11. Tomorrow morning, what's today? Today's the 20th, 11, 20, 20. Tomorrow is 11, 21, 20, 11, 21, 20. That's why it's hanging over it. The choice is up to you. In the chaos, in the craziness, in the mixed up shuffle, how are you gonna wake up tomorrow and say, God, I know it's chaotic. I know it's craziness, but I'm gonna live my life today honoring you. Think about that as we do this last piece right here. So, I love that piece. I love it because you hit it. That's the third reason why the show is called Dual Reality, by the way. There are pieces hanging in front of us. It talks about our reality away from God and our reality in Christ. It's a totally different thing. But that one freaks me out a little bit just to see today's date or tomorrow's date, in this case, right in front of our face the entire night. And you don't see it, you don't expect it. Hide it in a little joke about Splash Mountain, and then it kicks you in the face. Pow! Like that, Landon. Come here, let me kick you in the face. I'll show you. No, I'm kidding. Don't do that. So, here's what's up. I want to show you this last piece. It's one of my favorite ones to do. I'm going to put somebody through the University of Mentalism right now. It's not an accredited university. It's kind of like Ohio State, or like you know what I'm saying. It's one of those places. LSU, it's one of those. It's not a real place. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm just roll tide. Look, here's the thing. What do we say? They hate us because they ain't us. But anyway, forget it. It's irrelevant. We want to put you through the University of Mentalism. Tuition's a little bit high. Who in this room has got a $1,000 bill on them? Okay, I'm just kidding. Look, I'll tell you what. I don't care if you're 6 or 60. First $20 bill I see. That's fine. I got people reaching right here. I need to see somebody's $20 bill. I got a guy reaching right there. I got people reaching back here. Got people reaching back here. First one I see, it'll be like an auction. It'll be like a cattle auction. I will pull you up. Oh, that was quick. Awesome. What's up? Stand up, stand up, stand up. Come here. What's your name, man? Grant? Awesome. Come this way, Grant. Where's that money? Grant, this is an entry fee, my friend. Let me see this. This is the $20 bill that you're giving me, correct, Grant?
Yeah.
You're just giving it away? You're a little bit loosey-goosey. I'm hoping Shane will touch base on that in a little bit, okay? Look, you will not lose this depending on how well you do, but what you need to do right now is hold on to this high in the air. Do not let it leave sight and follow your way up onto the stage. Give Grant a humongous round of applause right now. Grant, you're an awesome job. Here, get some Germex. Money's dirty. So, come over here. Let me take this from you. It will stay in sight, but come over here for me. I want you to take this Sharpie right now, and I want you to sign your name very large across Jackson's face. Watch close what Grant's doing, because what Grant is doing right now in all 50 states is a felony. It's illegal, so. Do first and last, Grant, or just first?
First and last.
No, first and last. Awesome. They're not that picky in prison. But look, here's what's up, Grant. I want you to stand right over here. Watch that innocuous piece of citrus fruit. Grant, you have 3 envelopes here, 2 of which contain a folded up piece of paper worth nothing. We're gonna play a little bit of a game here. If you guess wrong, it's gonna be a good night for me. So, we're gonna take your 20, we're gonna seal it up in the last envelope. Now, Grant, I'm gonna give you some techniques and tips that you need to study on so that you can take your final exam here at the end of the semester, which ends in about a minute. So, we're gonna seal yours up in the last envelope here. Probably shouldn't do that, but. Oh, that's interesting. Peel and seal, it's COVID friendly, I knew that. That's the one you want right there, Grant. Don't mess this up, okay? Now, take your right hand, put it up to the side of your head like this, pinky in the air, all pip pip cheerio and all that lovely stuff, wonderful. I can go all night like that, trust me. Now, left hand, straight like this, jazz fingers, freeze. Amazing, Grant. You are now a mentalist, almost. Second move starts with what I call the mentalism eyebrow. It's very pensive, isn't it? I can tell. It's 2 for 1, what do you know? Here's the deal. I want you to follow my moves. Amazing, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, back to position, Grant. Back to position, you're doing a great job. High five, woo, okay. So, Grant. Close your eyes. How many fingers am I holding up now using your newfound abilities between 1 and 10? 2. Open your eyes. Is he good or what? Amazing! Grant. Master manipulator of mentalism. So Grant, I'm gonna close my eyes now. No, sorry, I'm not gonna close my eyes. That's not even part of this routine. I've never said that before. I'm gonna snap my fingers now. When I do, I want you to grab whichever envelope, number 1, number 2, or number 3. Pick me. That was me, not the envelope. These are French. Contains your 20. 1, 2, 3. Terrible choice. No, that's fine. It's fine. Just put that under your right foot. Now, Grant. Yeah, we'll be all right. At any point now, Grant, you could have changed your mind, but you're not worried about something silly happening based on your poor decision-making abilities, are you, Grant? But you can reach in and save it if you want to. I'm kidding. We don't have insurance for that, so you can't do that. At the base, though, it is burning green. So that is actually, it's a terrible sign, actually. So that's okay. You know what? Hang on, it's just a little bit hot. Hey, look at that. It's like the Great Muda. Look at that. That's amazing. I'm going to put this out before the fire marshal comes again. Look at that smoky ambiance. It looks like the traditional service, doesn't it? Huh? Too close to home? Come on. Why don't we sing? That got a full-blown applause. I want to sing I'll Fly Away, by golly. Okay. Here's the deal. I'm with you, man. I love it all. You're not worried because you know there's an envelope right under your foot. And not only, go ahead and open it up, is there a $20 bill, there's a signed $20 bill because Landon, I'm too cheap to burn $40 every time we do this trip. You could do this for $60. Go borrow $60 tonight and burn 20 of them. You're good to go. Ladies and gentlemen, Grant, the Magnificato. Talk for a minute. Let's get rid of that embarrassing reminder. Well, never mind, Grant. There it is. Just like life, your failures right in front of all of us. Grant, check this out. No, I'm joking. Just joking with you. I do have a backup plan. I used to work at a bank. Hold your hand like this. If you take this to Regions or Wells Fargo or a Bank of the Chandlers, I'll probably cash that. You're gonna need this piece. That one's important. I wouldn't worry so much about those. Probably just a denomination or something like that. Where were you sitting at? I think your friends are, is it this group of people? Yeah, you've got to empty. They're pointing at your seat. Thank you so much, Grant. Wonderful job. Who has got a $50 bill on them right now? No, Grant, I'm just joking. I'm joking. Drop the ashes in the pan. I appreciate you were such a good sport. Now, I really do have a backup plan, and there has been one incredibly odd thing on this stage besides me tonight. Some of you are thinking, why does he keep referencing the innocuous piece of citrus fruit? So you're thinking, wait a minute, maybe Bryan's hypoglycemic. He gets a little bit low, he kind of rolls over, bites into it, pops back up to his jovial self. But no! Hand me that orange, would you? Did you know in some countries, in some states, Grant, they can't grow oranges as beautiful as these due to different soil types and climates and all that jazz? No. I'm making it up on the spot, don't worry about it. If you take this over to Albuquerque tonight, very middle of the hot and sandy, right? Yeah. They'd pay you upwards of $22 for that orange. So you did not win your 20, but you won the consolation prize, $22 worth of an orange. Thank you so much, Grant. Wonderful job, wonderful job. Okay, fine. Just make sure it's a regular orange. There's no trap doors, hidden distance, or twins like that movie, The Prestige. Spoiler if you haven't seen it. Bruce Willis is dead the whole movie. It's crazy. I appreciate that you appreciated that. Thank you. No, hang on. Still some blood on it from the last show. He's fine, don't worry. Let me have that. Grant, here's what I want you to do. Hold on to that for me. I'm kidding, I don't know you that well. Open up the orange, take out what's in the orange, drop the orange into the pan. Not only, ladies and gentlemen, is it a $20 bill, it's a sopping wet $20 bill with the name, oh wait.
Grant Lee.
Show them. Grant the Magnificato! Awesome job, bud, thank you so much. Wait, stop. Grant, one last thing. Come here, quick. Let me ask you something. Come over here, buddy. Come here, stand right here. Say hello for me.
Hello.
Everybody? Let me see this really quick. Where did you get this from? Cash back from a restaurant, ATM? Did you steal this from somewhere? Where did you get this from?
I think that's my allowance.
Your allowance, awesome. What's your social security number? Don't answer that, stop it. Here's what's up. You signed this, right? Yeah. So it's the only one in the world like this, unless you have a weird bill signing habit like all other serial killers have, right, Sam? Look, here's the deal. Even before you signed it, though, this bill was already unique. It was the only one in the world like it for two reasons. Number one is the seal. That's an animal. They're aquatic, sometimes deadly. Two is the serial number. Now, don't worry about the PE here at the front. or the C at the end, but read off that serial number 1 digit at a time into the microphone.
484-00662.
It's the serial number!
Awesome job. Thanks, brother. Appreciate that. Guys, God bless you. Thank you for letting us come hang out with y'all. If you want to follow us, check us out. It's at Bryan Drake Show. We'll see you next time. Y'all take care.
Woo! All right. That was pretty awesome, huh? Okay, yeah, we can clap again. Go for it. Yes, absolutely. So good. Okay, where's that little boy that was up here? Dude, you should have seen your face when he pulled those out of his mouth. It was priceless. It was so incredible. That was so good. Well, hey, that was great. Thank you so much. We're so glad that he was here. And now I want to talk about a few more little things. Before we do that, I actually got a video that's going to play real quick. So go ahead and check out the screens.
You can go to church or you can do church. And being involved in the mentor-mentee program is doing church.
I signed up as a mentee because I just felt like I really could use somebody's outside perspective. It's given me a really good opportunity to get into the Word, which is something I wasn't doing before.
As a mentor, I've experienced growth, and I've seen growth in my mentee's life too. When we first met, he wasn't as apt to pray, and today Tom is a prayer warrior.
It really has impacted my life. I'm definitely going to continue in the program.
I think that if you have the opportunity to be a mentor, you should give it a try. It's some of the best steps you'll ever take in your walk with Christ.
So this is so cool, being able to be here tonight, being able to hang out together as men, just having some amazing community and growing together and having a good time and laughing and hearing some encouraging words, watching cool illusions. So fun. But you know, one thing in our lives that is so important that we do is we develop and we dig deeper into that relationship that we have with God. That we develop that one-on-one relationship and friendship with other men. That we spend time both mentoring and being mentored by those who have lived life, who have done things that we couldn't imagine they've done, that can help us walk through life together. Having that one-on-one time and that one-on-one relationship is invaluable. And so that's one of the things that we do here at CS Men is we have this mentoring program, and we have it set up to where we need mentors, and we also need people who want to be menteed. Is that the right word? They need to be mentored. So we have both. And so there's actually a table outside, out in the lobby. If you guys can take a moment, you want some information about that, maybe you want to be a mentor or you want to get hooked up with somebody who wants to mentor you. I know that in my life, when I first became a Christian, there was this guy, his name was Craig, and he came alongside of me and he poured into me, and he just taught me who Jesus was, and he showed me the love of Jesus. And that was an experience that gave me the desire and confirmed in me that God had called me to do ministry. And that's what God wants for each one of us in this room. He wants each and every one of us in this room to spend time with other men, really digging in and coming to a place where we can know God more. So if you want information about that, it's out there. There's a table out in the lobby. Also, you can go to the CS Men's app. If you haven't downloaded that, you should do that. There's all kinds of information on there on the CS Men's app about that as well. So, you know, we just recently had a golf tournament, and it was awesome. Who went to the golf tournament? Yeah? Okay, it was great. Here's the thing. We had 120 spots and we packed out 120 spots. And those 120 spots, it was a blast. Everybody that went out there had an amazing time. In fact, I've been talking to one of them. For some reason, he keeps telling me that golfers are cool. And I'm not a golfer, so I might need to start thinking about getting into this cool club of golfing because I've never really gotten into it. But I can tell you that the guys who went out there and went golfing, they had an amazing time. And that golf tournament is what raised the money for all of us to be able to be here, for us to be able to put on this legacy conference, to be able to have this moment tonight where we can come together as men. But one of the things that we do with that as well is not only does that help to raise the money to be able to do this legacy conference, but we take a portion of that and we actually donate it to the Phoenix Rescue Mission. And so I'm going to ask Paul to come out here for just a moment because we actually just want to thank him for what he's doing. We want to bless him for what he's doing. And we also want to present him with the money that we take from that because like I said, we take a percentage of everything that's raised for that golf tournament to donate to the ministry that they're doing. And so can we just thank Paul real quick for for the amazing ministry he's a part of? And then we just have this little mini check. We did it on a mini check because we didn't want to waste any money on a big check. We wanted to go to the work of Jesus, right? So we have a little check, but the money's the same. And we want to present this to you just to say, thank you for the ministry that you're doing. God's doing amazing things through you. And so there you go. Do you want to say a couple things real quick?
Thank you, Josh. Sure. I'd like to thank the Lord for the Cornerstone Men's Ministry and all that they do. And thank you for this check. It's very generous of you. If you're not involved in the Cornerstone Men's Ministry, please take a moment and think about that and pray about it. I'll tell you, these guys are wonderful. This is just a token of what they do for the Phoenix Rescue Mission. They come down, they mentor, they guide men. We've got 100 and some men. We're just in January going to open up a new facility that's 360 beds of men that'll be there in recovery, some of them from drugs and alcohol, some of them from bad relationships, just down on their luck, all right? And they don't need a handout, they need a hand up. And the men at Cornerstone's ministry are there to teach, to guide, to volunteer, to walk alongside these men and see them be restored into the kingdom. So thank you all, and God bless you, Josh.
Right on, thank you. There we go, yes. Thanks, buddy. Pretty awesome to know that we get to be a part of that. We get to be a part of impacting men's lives, helping them to see Jesus, to come to know Jesus, which is what this is all about. That's why we're here. It's why we do what we do. It's why we have the CS Men's Ministry so that men can dig deeper. They can come to know Jesus. They can share the message of Jesus. In fact, we do a couple of different studies here at Cornerstone for the men's ministry. One of those happens on Wednesday evenings, and that's going to be kicking back up again in January. And it's going to be a series called The 7 Challenges That Men Encounter. This is a video series. It's actually really cool. So if Wednesday nights is the night that you can come out and you can come be a part of that, we encourage you to be a part of that starting back up in January. And then if Thursday nights is the night for you, or you can do both if you want, but Thursday nights, we actually do a study. It's Thursday mornings and Thursday evenings. So if you want to do it before work or after work, whatever works for you. But we're going to be starting a new series going through the book of Timothy. It's going to be awesome. It's called Uncharted Waters. And it's just another amazing time that we can come together as men. We can dig into God's word. We can see what it is that he wants to teach us so that we can be the men God's called us to be. We all want to be the men God's called us to be, right? We can clap for that. That's why we're here. That's what we want. And that's what we're going to do. Amen. Well, hey guys, thank you. So real quick, we're actually going to go on a break here. It's going to be 15 minutes, exactly 15 minutes. We're going to have a countdown going up here on the screen. And when we come back, we're going to do prizes. So you want to be in here because we're going to do prizes. We're going to hand them out in exactly 15 minutes. So go have a break and we'll see you in a few. Is that me? Yeah. Okay. All right, look at that. Right down to the last second. I got names for prizes. Here we go. Let's see what we got. Did you guys have a good break? Okay, how was the food? Was it awesome? Good food? Yeah? What about the coffee shop? Was it open? Who got the Oreo cookie Frappuccino thing? I'm telling you what, that thing, it might sound like a girl drink, but it is incredible. In fact, the first time I ever came to one of these, I didn't know anybody. I'd been on staff for like, I don't know, hardly any time at all, it felt like, and I came. And actually, I don't even know if I was on staff yet, maybe, I don't know. But I got one of those Oreo cookie drinks, and I was walking around thinking everybody's probably looking at me like I'm drinking a girl drink because they were all drinking black coffee, and I didn't care because it was incredible. So if you haven't tried it, you absolutely should. But anyways, on with the prizes. Okay, do I have a Nathan Smith? Nathan Smith, hey. Give him a hand. Come on up, Nathan. All right, now all of these prizes, as I hand them out, you bet, buddy. You can actually, afterwards, you can take these out and Shane will autograph these for you. He's gonna be out afterwards doing some autographs. So, here we go, let's see. Corey Cavisto. Does that sound like something? Cavisto? All right. Come on down, buddy. Woo! Our next one is going to be Bryan Acevedo, Acevedo. All right, there you go, man. You bet, absolutely. There you go, dude. You get a official hockey puck. The man, all right. All right, Chris yes, Losier, that is the name. There we go, buddy. Thanks, man, you bet. You bet. Okay, so far so good. Look at that. Everybody's in the house even. Alec Acevedo? Did I say it way wrong? Okay, well, I was kind of close. Kind of close. There you go. Thank you. Okay, Carl Johnson. I got that one. Carl Johnson. Is Carl Johnson here? The one name I can pronounce, and he's not here. All right, we're going down the list then. Larry Wu. 2 for 2, and 2 for 2 not in the room. No Larry Wu. Okay. Matt Lankford. Yeah, there we go. You see that? I untied my own shoe up here. Matt, hockey puck. You the man. Yep, you bet. Okay, Greg Files. Yeah, Greg, come on down. You are the next contestant to win a cool Coyotes hat. And like I said, get these things autographed afterwards. It's going to be good. He'll be out there hanging out. Bernard Freytag. Yeah. There you go, buddy. Yep. Bill Johans? Johans? Johans, all right. Come on down, Bill. That's right. Come on. You guys having a good night? Fun? Good times? That was pretty cool stuff, that illusion stuff. I'm kind of like Simon Cowell. Thanks, buddy. You guys ever watch America's Got Talent? Simon Cowell actually loves the magicians. That's kind of how I am. There's just something about magicians, just like incredible. I don't know how they do it. Will Locke. Will Locke. No go on the Will Locke. How about Art McCann? Art McCann. No go. All right. Thomas Benavides. There we go. Come on down, buddy. Hey, I'm trying. You bet, man. Thanks for hanging out tonight. Good times. Jameson Diaz. Hey, Diaz. There you go, man. You bet. Okay, and Jason Clubb. Jason Clubb. All right. Woo! Okay, so, thanks, man. Who played air hockey? All right, who killed it at air hockey? Come on, come on, there we go, all right. Okay, well, I have got my first, second, and third place winners. So should I go with first or should I go with third first? First? Third first. First. We'll go with third, all right. Third place in our air hockey championship contest is Mike Frost. Woo! Come on up, Mike. Good job. Good job. Okay, so you have a choice of either deciding that you would like to take an air hockey table home or I have a gift card. Your choice. Air hockey table it is. There you go, buddy. Woo! Okay. Second place. My second place person is Tyler McBurney. Tyler, come on down. All right, Tyler. So, I think that, what should we do here? Should we give him a choice too? Or should we give first place a choice? First place did win. He's got to have a choice. All right, first place is, just a sec, buddy, Bradley Gannon. Come on down, Bradley. Bradley Gannon is going to determine your prize, Tyler. Bradley, would you like to take an air hockey table home or would you like a gift card? Air hockey it is. First place, air hockey to Bradley. Tyler, that means you get both gift cards because I'm just going to be a nice guy and give you both of them. Woo! You bet, buddy. Good times. Hey, thank you so much. You guys are awesome. Hopefully you had a blast playing air hockey and doing all that crazy stuff. We have got some real fun stuff coming up now. Shane Doan's going to be coming out here, and you're going to love it. It's going to be incredible. Before we do that, we got a quick little video. Check this out.
All right, well, let's welcome Shane Doan as he comes out here. Shane, are you out there? Oh, there he comes. Is it on?
I think so. Hello?
All right.
Yep, there we go.
Well, before we get started talking, we have two more prizes we want to give away.
Yes.
The first one is we have this jersey, and I also need to have the name. I think Josh took the name sheet with us, so can we get that name sheet here? Let me see. We have a jersey with Shane Doan. Can somebody grab the jersey, or do I need to come back there? All right. Bring it out. All right. And then I need the names from Josh took the sheet with him.
Josh, come on.
So these are hard to come by the way. And these are not cheap either. Seriously. I should have called you up and said, hey, do you have an extra one in your, do you have a lot of these in your closet?
I don't actually. I've ran out of them actually. Yeah, I don't have any left.
I'm sure your kids have one or something.
Nope, they definitely don't actually. They've given theirs away. They don't even have
one of your jerseys.
They have my son's now. They don't have mine, so.
Okay, so the person that is going to win this jersey, and come on up here, is Richard Bergman. Richard, are you in the house? Okay, not in the house, then I'm moving on. Last chance? Okay.
Richard.
Braden Eberhardt. Braden?
Oh, Braden.
Look,
and you're wearing a jersey.
Come on up, Braden. Come on up, buddy. Look at this. He's representing. So, Braden, this is yours. And you can have Shane even sign it now if you would like. I got some.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. And so you have the choice of silver or black.
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 I agree.
All
That'd
right.
be my
Black.
choice.
All right. And so we'll have him sign that. Congratulations. That's awesome. All right. Congratulations. Good job. And the person that's going to play hockey against Shane Doan. This is really a good one. How many hockey players do we have out there?
All right.
Okay, a few. They're all like, I don't want to be out there. Good. Aaron Qualls. Aaron,
all
come
right.
on up, buddy. Come on up. Come on.
Come on. Seattle.
So here's how we're going to play. Come on up. Come on up.
Oh.
You're going to be able to say your whole life that you played hockey against Shane Doan. Okay? You're going to be able to tell your kids and your kids' kids that you got to play hockey against Shane Doan. Isn't that cool?
Can you skate?
Okay.
Can you
well,
skate?
Here's how we're going to do it, though. All right? We have for you a genuine
we're
hockey.
just going to play this hockey game. Yeah.
Okay, come on over here. Come over here. You're going to play against Shane Doan. This is an official Canadian-made air hockey. Any of you guys played this when you were a kid? I used to play this. You got the sticks and the rotation. So here's what we're going to do. I got a puck.
All right.
It's going to. Do we have the boom camera here? Are we going to put boom camera on it? Maybe not. I guess not. Okay. So here we go. Thought we had it. Here we go. We're going to do one first score.
Wait a second.
Hold on. Do you have something jammed up here?
There we go. I'm just making sure.
Okay. All right. You got all your. Here's your. Shane, I know you don't want to lose. This, okay, now which one is you, Shane? So I know. Do you play on that side or this side? Oh, this would be you. Okay.
No, that would be
That'd be you. Okay, all right. So here we go. Puck drop in the middle. This one right here. This is yours. This one right here. There you go. Puck drop in the middle. You ready? On your mark. Get set. Go. All right, go. All right. Here we go. Let's go. Get it. Slap it. Get him up there. Get him up there. Here we go. I don't know if this is more entertaining than real hockey or not. Right there, Shane. Right there. Shoot. Oh. Shane's checking on him. He's checking on him. Up. Oh, he's almost. Oh, I don't know. That's almost. All right. All right. Good job. All right. Hey, for playing hockey against Shane, guess what? You got to take this thing home. Yep. This is yours. And then also, Shane signed. This is an original hockey. Shane signed this as well. So this is all yours. And here's the other hockey puck for that. So, all right. Do you need help getting that down, or can you carry that? All right. There you go. Congratulations. All right.
We might have been there a while.
We could have been there a while. It started to get late here. So first off, thank you, Shane, for doing this. You know, it's over a year. I was thinking about this. I think I texted you last year to see if you can come to this. And the whole COVID thing hit. So
changed everything.
Everything. Yeah. But we're glad that you've been patient with us. And we're glad that, matter of fact, when I invited you, and I had this whole spiel, you know, in the texting, there was a long delay, and all I got back from you was, yep. And I was like, okay.
That's not my strength. Texting on a phone is not my strength. And my wife and anyone that knows me will like laugh about that, because that's usually that, and I put a period at the end of every single text for some reason. I'm not sure why.
So you are born in Canada. You're a Canadian, right?
Yes, I am. Yep. Born in Central Alberta. Yeah, some Canadians down here. I was born in Central Alberta. Really, really small rural farming town. I grew up on a dude ranch, kind of for kids, a Bible camp that was non-denominational. Very, very like 8 miles from town of about 75 to 80 people. So it was the middle of Alberta.
Now, I understand that living in Canada, you really only have two types of careers to follow. Is that correct?
Well, in my area, for sure. Like, it's either hockey or cowboy in my area. And I'm not tough enough to be a cowboy. So I'm like, I got to be a hockey player, because Those Cowboys, they're a different breed, and they're really tough.
So you played hockey. From what age did you start playing hockey?
I started really young. I started playing the game at like 6, but I started skating like 3. Well, you start skating when you're little. Like, my dad there's pictures of my dad pulling me kind of on the streets with like the double runner blades. When we were younger, you used to have double runner blades that you don't have them anymore, but you could pull you behind a sled on these double runners, and I was getting used to skating at that age, and so it's just what you do. It's Canadian, I guess.
And so, at what point in playing hockey did you feel like this could be a career for me?
Well, I was my dad played and got drafted into the NHL, and then I had uncles that played and got drafted. None of them played in the NHL, but they'd been drafted. And so I was fortunate that I kind of assumed that, you know what, you play hockey in your small town, and then you move on and you play junior and you go to the NHL. And like I said, my town was so small that the competition wasn't there. We were asking people to play on our team. Like, we were like, hey, will you play? And they'd never played hockey before in their life, and they're coming out and playing. And so it was hard to compare. But when I got to Kamloops, I got my eyes opened in a hurry, and I was kind of like, oh boy, this is going to be a lot tougher than I thought. But all the way along, I kind of thought, yeah, I'm going to play in the NHL. Which is arrogant, and then I realized very naive at some point. So, but yeah, that's kind of the thought I had.
So you now have decided to enter the draft. So how did that go for you?
Yeah, that was an amazing experience. I got to play in Kamloops on a team that we were on. Our team was historically great. We won 3 out of 4 national titles. Nobody's ever done that before. We won back-to-back national titles. And the national, that also includes like teams in the U.S. It's just called that. It's called the Memorial Cup. And so I had the opportunity to play on some great teams. My draft year comes up, and in hockey, you go in. Once you're that age, you get drafted. And I got the opportunity to get drafted into the NHL. And as a Western Canadian kid, that was pretty special. It was in Edmonton, which was my hometown, which was an experience that was one of the most amazing experiences of my life.
So you get drafted Winnipeg Jets, right? Yes. First round.
Yep, I went in the first round to Winnipeg. I was drafted. Like I said, we had a good team, and so there was a couple of us that went high in the first round. I get drafted by Winnipeg. Has anyone been to Winnipeg? Is anyone from here?
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
We got some
See?
Winnipeg. Okay.
Western Canadians, we will travel. It's kind of cold in Winnipeg. Like right now, I'm sure it's really cold in Winnipeg. Winnipeg. So Winnipeg is known, there's a Portage in Maine, is the street, like right downtown. It's the coldest place in the world. And you say that often about places, but it's legitimately, like, I think the coldest intersection in the world.
But you thought you were drafted there, you thought you were going to play there, and then you no longer get drafted, and what do they tell you?
We get drafted, and they say the team's moving. And I was kind of shocked and surprised. My biggest concern was I was still in the NHL. I was like, am I still going to be playing? They said, yeah. And then they said, you're moving to Arizona. And I was like, I didn't even...
Did you think it was a joke at first?
I didn't know what to think. I'm like, what? There's not even, like, I didn't even know that there was water, let alone ice in Arizona. So I was like, oh, man, we got to... And they flew us down here. During...
What time of year?
It was the all-star break of my rookie year, so in January of 96. And 96 in Winnipeg was like it was a historically cold winter. It was like we got snow for, I think, 111 days in a row. There was like a millimeter of snow. It was incredible. Winnipeg has a huge snow budget, and they'd spent their snow budget in November. And it was like, you're just getting started. This isn't the end. This is like the beginning still. But we flew down here middle of January, and it was minus 33 in Winnipeg, and it was plus 74 or something.
Yeah. And you thought, this is heaven. This is great, right?
Oh, my goodness. 107 degrees change in one flight. And that was impressive.
Well, they were smart because they didn't bring you down like in July.
No,
So,
that was very smart.
Then you would have been looking for another team by then, right?
Someone gave me a cactus. Like when we were here, we had like this big meet and greet, and they gave me a cactus. I'm an 18-year-old kid. I mean, that's about the only plant that I could probably keep alive, but they gave me a cactus, and I was like, what in the world? This place is crazy.
So then they changed it to Phoenix Coyotes.
Yes.
And the trivia question on the side is, how many years did Shane Doan play for the Arizona Coyotes?
I don't even know that one.
3 years.
3 years.
3 years you played for the
So I
Arizona
played for
Coyotes.
3 different teams.
Yes, you
I
did.
did.
Basically, is that.
There we go.
So, but when you play with it, what a favorite game? Do you have a favorite game that you go, of all the games I played in, this was really one of my funnest games?
Oh, man. I think you remember your first game. Like, I remember my first game, and I remember my, it sounds cheesy, but I remember my 1500th game, which is,
wow.
It was, I scored in that game. I got to play, it was a fun game to play in. But the most enjoyable game that I played in was probably the game when we beat Chicago. I remember that game. We beat Chicago in the playoffs. I remember that game. Probably the best. And I remember standing back as after we'd won the game. And the moment I remembered was everyone's celebrating, like the players are all celebrating. And I was on the ice when the game ended. And I was probably about 35 feet from the pile. And the coolest part about it was I'm standing, and I am the biggest fan of hockey. I love sports and I love hockey. And I'm watching the team that I love celebrate, and I'm like 30 feet away, and I'm like, I get to go join in. Like that was, I don't know why I thought that. Like I was like, this is, like I'm watching these guys celebrate. I'm so excited for them, and I got to go join in. And I'd been hit really, really hard in that game, like really hard, and hurt myself in an area that you never want to get hurt in. And I couldn't move very well because of it. And I was slow getting to the pile, and that's kind of why I was 35 feet away at first. But it was such an amazing moment to be able to watch something that I'd tried for so long to get out of the first round, and for us to finally do it as a team. So as a Coyote, that was probably one of my favorite moments.
So, okay, so here's some random questions. Missing teeth?
Yes, I am. These front ones are all gone.
That's like a rite of passage
it is.
in hockey,
it
isn't
is.
it? Yeah.
It is. And it was done.
Now, you don't take them out when you play or anything, right?
I got mine posted. Mine are posted in now, so they're good. Lots of my teammates. So that was like an ongoing joke where steal someone's teeth, and you'd leave them. You'd hide them somewhere, and for the rest of the trip, they couldn't eat steak really. So you'd have to eat pasta or different things like that. But if you hide someone's teeth, you got to make sure you put them in water because they'll dry out. That flapper will dry out. So they got to stay moist.
Broken nose. I noticed you have a broken nose. There's an interesting story behind this.
Yeah.
First off, how many times have you broken your nose?
Man, I'd probably say 9, 10 times, I'd say. But I think Mike's here. Mike, there's a goalie. Is Mike here? I don't know if he's here. There he is. He was here the last time that I broke my nose, so I get it fixed.
Was he the one that
He was in goal.
He was the goal when you broke your nose this
Yeah.
Okay.
Right? Was it in your end or was it in the other end? Other end. Oh. So I break my nose 9 times. First time I was 15 in a fight, broken really, really bad. I thought I should fight. I shouldn't have fought. That was a bad decision. Got it broken, continued to break it throughout my career until I decided that I needed to put a visor on. I put my visor on like 950 games. So anyways, my career ends. My wife's like, you snore so bad. You have to get your nose fixed. Please get your nose fixed. Like there's no air on the one side. The other side had like 15%. I always would breathe through my mouth. So I go get it fixed last October. And then this September, I'm out helping out with Mike, and they shoot the puck off the crossbar, hits me in the nose, and I re-broke it on my wife's birthday. I'm like, really?
And then she was like so sympathetic. She's like, we don't have to go on this hike to Sedona.
She was. It was her birthday. We were going to Sedona. She's like, no, We don't have to go. I'm like, it's my nose. It's nothing. I've done this a bunch. I played hockey games with a broken. I can do that. That's no big deal. Now, you want to think people look at you when you wear a mask? They should see when you're wearing a mask and it's all full of blood and it's dripping down out of your mouth. They're sure you're giving them COVID then. Like, they're 100%. Like, if they get within 15 feet of you, there's COVID. So, but yeah. But that's the difference when we talk about cowboy or hockey players.
Yeah,
See,
yeah.
a hockey player will play with a broken nose. That's no big deal. A cowboy plays with a broken leg.
Yeah.
So they walk up the hill with a broken leg.
Yeah.
Hockey players, broken nose. Cowboys, broken legs. So.
Favorite player that you played against?
Oh, man. I was the biggest Paul Coffey fan in the world. I love Paul Coffey. Oh, there's another one. He's the only guy I really got a picture of me coming down on him as an 18-year-old. I got him to sign it. And my job, my rookie year in Winnipeg, we played for the Detroit Red Wings in the playoffs, and they had won 62 games. They had the Russian Five, their amazing team. We played them in the playoffs, and my coach pulls me aside before the playoffs start and is like, Shane, you're going to play, which was surprising because I didn't play that much, but he's like, you're going to play, and your only job in the entire series is to run Paul Coffey. I'm like, what? I can't do. He's like, run him. I'm like, all right. So I'm trying to hit him every single time I'm on the ice, which isn't very often, but I'm still trying to get him. And he starts to figure it out. Like, he's like, hey, what are you doing? Like, every time you get the puck. And then he started to toy with me. Like, he was like chirping me on the ice. He's like, oh, kid, you better be careful. I was about to jump by you. Your coach is going to bench you if I get by you on this one, kid. And I was just like in awe of this guy. I've got to be friends with him, and he is just an unbelievable man. He ended up being our power play coach, and I got to work with him, and I just,
that's awesome.
He's one of those few guys that are just as great as you hope they are.
So did you got to play a little bit against Wayne Gretzky?
I did, which is, he's the greatest player ever to play our game. I would argue he's the greatest team athlete to ever play in a team sport, because his records and stuff, no one's ever going to touch them, like ever. And even my son will argue that Ovechkin's got a shot at his goals, but COVID's kind of putting a little damper on that, I think. So it's going to be tough.
How many years were you captain of the team?
I played as a captain, I think, 13, 12, 13 years, something like that. I was from 03 to 17, so maybe 14 years.
Wow.
I don't know. It was 13 or 14 years, something like that.
It's a big responsibility.
It was something that as a player I knew all the players that had wore the C before, that to be in that group was so humbling and unrealistic. Like, it just seemed like that. You never get that far in your dreams. Like, you just want to play, and to get that was pretty special.
Yeah. So, okay, I talked to you about this on the phone. As a Christian, you know, the Bible is pretty clear on we're supposed to love our neighbors and even love our enemies more, right? So here you are on hockey, and I even saw some of these clips. You're pretty brutal out there fighting, right? I mean, so how do you wrestle this through as a Christian, and you're out there fighting? And you walked me through a little bit of this, and you also have a little bit of a twist at the end on this. So why don't you share with us about this?
Yeah, for me, it was part of it's part of our game. Like, it's like a big hit in football. If you fight in hockey, it's very rarely is it lots of times it's people that you know, especially once you get to the NHL. You're usually, which at times you want to fight people you know, believe me, but it really wasn't as much that as it was part of our game, so I did it. And my teammates relied on me to do it at times to defend them. And there's a code that kind of goes into, I had a fight against one of my best friends. The guy that actually introduced me to my wife. The reason I met my wife was through him. And we played our junior together on that team that won the national titles. Once I get to the NHL, he gets drafted. He plays for another NHL team. He's playing in Vancouver. And we end up he actually ends up running over a teammate of mine. I mean, full-on yard sale. The guy's glove went off, lost his stick. My teammate's laying on the ice. And I kind of come flying in there like a little bit hot, and I thought that was a little bit inappropriate, and he shouldn't have done that. So I kind of mentioned that to him in a polite way. I'm like, hey, shouldn't have done that. And he looks
in your nice voice,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Shouldn't have done that.
and he looks at me, and in that moment, we both realized probably what's about to happen next, which is, it wasn't required, but it was one of those things that he looks at me and I look at him, and I see that, oh my goodness, I think we're going to fight here. And we're going to, and there's this moment though where, and it's, as you and I talked, it was a respectful thing. Like, it was a respectful thing if I had tapped him or given him a cheap shot and kind of been like, you're not worth my time, you're not worth my attention right now, it would have been like the ultimate disrespect. Like, if a guy challenges somebody on the ice to fight and he's like, you're not worth me going off the ice for. You're not worth me fighting for. It's disrespectful. And you're trying to be disrespectful because you're disregarding him as valuable. And so in that moment, which sounds bizarre, I showed my friend that I thought that he was a legitimate, I thought he could beat me up, so that was part of it. But he thought that I could beat him up. We were equals, and then we challenged each other and we fought. It was a good fight. He switched to left hands halfway through, which I think is unfair. And once you start throwing one hand, you shouldn't be able to switch and throw another one, because that could hurt me.
Yeah.
And so I didn't want him to hurt me. But it was one of those moments that it was out of respect. And I know that that's hard for people to understand. And as you and I talked, there's people that will never understand that. They won't ever understand that the reason that I fought him was out of respect. And that's okay. And I'm not asking them to. We talked about King David wanted to build the temple for God. And God said that you're not ever going to build the temple. There's too much blood on your hands. Your son Solomon's going to do it. And that wasn't because David wasn't a godly man or loved God or wasn't a man after God's own. He was a man after God's own heart. He was everything that God wanted. But he wasn't being used in that moment. And so there's an element that I think goes along with that, where there's certain people that'll never understand how I could fight.
Right.
And I understand that, and I don't, it's okay. I'm okay with that.
Sure.
But there's another group of people that understand that everything I did heartily as unto the Lord, not unto man. And in that moment, I was doing that for my teammate, and I was doing that for God, and I was doing that to show respect of my friend. And he kind of beat me anyways, which really bothers me still to this day that I have to tell that story. And I'll never admit it to him, but that was the way it went. And it was just part of our game.
So as you're using even the David illustration and stuff, tell me a little bit about your background. Tell me about your parents.
I grew up, I was given so much. Like, I smile sometimes because I've been truly, everything about me has been given to me, and it is a gift that I did not earn and I don't deserve. And my parents were a perfect example that they were incredibly godly people that have been incredible influences in my life. They're both pastors. My brother and my sister, we grew up in an incredible home. I was so fortunate to have what I had growing up, and raised in a godly family, made a commitment to Christ at a young age. And truly, you couldn't have asked for, we didn't have money, but you truly couldn't have asked for a better life. Like, I was so blessed.
So you were basically raised in a Christian home, but when did you make that decision to follow Christ in your life?
Well, I remember praying the sinner's prayer at a young age and making a decision to commit my life to Christ, and was very confident in who I was in Christ and comfortable with that. Early on in my life. And then as I got older, there were some things that kind of crept into my life that I had to address. And I kept them somewhat hidden from everybody. And at about 22, I had to really look at myself and be like, man, it wasn't that I was saved, and it wasn't any of that. It was that there were some areas of my life that were going to really destroy some things and hurt people around me that were very, very valuable to me. And I had to really understand that, hey, you can talk it and you can kind of say the right things and you can hide it, or it can be real. And I think that at that point, so it was, I'd say at about 22, where I'd always been very open about my faith and very confident in it, but at 22, it really seemed to become my faith. And it was no longer about, you know, as Bernie and Bernice's son, or I was a Christian athlete. It was, what did I believe and what was important to me? And that's when it seemed to solidify that I'm not a Christian because it's what I think you should do. I became a Christian, I guess, or I committed my life because it was the life that's the best, and that's the life that was the most honest and real. And that was when it kind of went from being something that people telling me to do to something that I'm like, no, this is true, and this is real, and this is who I am.
I like how you said that at 22, you really had to make that decision for yourself. I share with a lot of young people, and even my kids in my house, that right now their faith is my faith, and my faith is their faith.
Oh, yeah.
And
you live secondhand through so much of that.
Right.
I grew up that way.
And then when they get out of your house, when they go off to college or they begin their career, there's that moment that they have to own that faith. And that's basically what you had to do, is you had to decide, am I going to own this faith that my mom and dad have taught me all these years, correct?
Yeah, and I know, like, I could stand up and I could do this. I could do this really, really well. I grew up being able to, you know, I understood the Bible. I had so much of the Bible poured into my life, and I knew how to talk, and I knew how to be, and yet there was an element that needed to be more real, and I think it went from kind of being in my head to being in my heart, and being the thing that was going to guide me for real, not just a set of rules that I thought I had to follow. And that's really, I think, when, and it's hard for each person has to make that understanding that, am I just following the rules, or am I really going to choose that is this really the best and the greatest, and to life to its fullest? Is this, like, I got to make that choice, and that was when it was for me.
And so, we talked a little bit about this backstage. Here you are as a Christian. Your teammates knew you were a Christian. Here you are as the captain. And I had asked you, you know, how was that as you being a Christian and leading this team? Because it's not a lot of hockey players are probably.
Yeah, there's not a lot of hockey players that. One of the most amazing things to me is hockey players are good men. They're good men. I can't tell you how many of them have incredible moral fibers, and that are family guys that are down simple and humble and good men. And sometimes it seems that because of that, Christianity hasn't kind of came into hockey as much. And obviously the whole idea that sometimes the view that Christianity is a crutch, or that you're soft, or that you're going to not be as competitive, or any of those things kind of creeped in. So as a leader and as a captain of the team, there was always I think there was an element of watching to see if that was true. And I was fortunate that, you know, I got to be friends with the guys and show that I cared more about them as people. And I think that had more of an impact than anything I could have done as a captain or playing that way. It was the effect that just being friends and getting close to men and really having a good time with that.
Yeah. So last question I have is, who are some men in your life that have mentored you and really have helped you when you're making some difficult decisions in your life?
Well, it definitely starts with my dad, without a doubt, which is, I recognize, is such an incredible blessing to be able to say, because not a lot of people have that ability to say that, but I was so fortunate to have that. And then throughout my career, there was different men that came into it. Mike Gartner was a guy that, when I came here, the my second year in the league. Mike Gartner got traded to us, and I got to be around Garts. Those guys were guys that were spiritually guys that helped me a lot. And then as I got older, I've had some different people that have been in my life that have become people that I really count on. Obviously, my wife is somebody that has came into my life that really seems to help me. But for men that really watch and that I can be honest with and that really know me at my core, there's a couple other guys. There's a guy named Tyler Johnson that I've become really good friends with that in the last 15 years is somebody that I go to for a lot of just. He became a team chaplain, and it was someone that helped. But it's so important to have people that you can talk to, not about spiritual things, just that can be real with, just because that's what life is. It's about being. There's an element that we got to be real. We got to be who we are.
Well, and you made a decision to retire after 22 years, but that couldn't have been an easy decision. And you were telling me that who did you call and who did you talk to about that decision?
Well, that would have been, so when I retired, which is, as a professional athlete, you tend to retire a lot earlier than you probably want to, no matter how long you play for. My dad retired like four or 5 years before that from running the ranch. Maybe a few more years than that. And we talked about how he talked to me specifically throughout my life. Don't let hockey become your identity. Don't let hockey become your identity. You're more than a hockey player. Be a man. Be a husband. Be you're a child of God. I knew all the right things to say. Again, like I'd kind of that had all been poured into me. And yet when him and I would talk after he'd retired, he's like, "Oh my gosh, I had let my job become my identity because that's who everyone recognized me as." Yeah. And that was something that, so when I retired, it was something that I was able to, it was way harder than I thought it was going to be. And it still is to this day. I can't believe how much I've struggled with the idea that it just is. It's harder to change than people realize. And when people give up something that has become a huge part of you, it's difficult. And I don't care who you are. It is really, really hard. And talking with Dad and him being open and honest about how much he struggled with it really helped me being able to not pretend that it doesn't bother me. Because there's days where, for the first 3 or 4 years, or 3 years, there's days where you just struggle. You struggle and you need people to talk to.
Well, that's awesome that you have a dad in your life that can really help. A pastor,
yeah,
but a dad in your life that can really give you that godly advice, because sometimes we make decisions on emotions. Oh. And a lot of times those are the poor decisions that we make, and to have somebody else in your life that is going to give you those common sense, decisions and just, take all emotions out of it is really helpful.
It's so important. We'd always joke that I usually know what the right decision is. I just don't want to make it until I talk to somebody. It's like, okay, I got A or B, and I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to go with B, but I'm hoping that when I talk to this person, he's going to let me take A. And it's so important to be able to have someone to be like, you might need to look at that one again. You might just be honest. Be honest with yourself. Don't try to, get away with what you're trying to do.
Yeah. Shane, thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being able to talk with us about your life. And I'm hearing that you still are going to have somewhat one foot into hockey. Is that true?
Yeah, I love the game. I will play it till the day I die, and I will be involved in, trying to help the game here or help the game wherever I can. I think it's an incredible sport that gives you the opportunity to, there's so many great things about it. And I think that it helps young men so much, and it gives people the opportunity to see so much. So I love the sport, and in regards to kind of being involved, I get to work with the league and do stuff with the league right now that I love to do.
And potentially you might get your nose broken again every once in a while.
I blame Michael. But I'll still be going out there and still be chasing the puck around. Mike and I were doing it today, so I will keep. Well, I don't chase it anymore. I just move it. I push it into areas and then they go and chase it. So, but yeah, thanks so much. Appreciate you having me.
Well, thank you, Shane. Appreciate it. Let's give Shane a hand. Let me pray for you. Let's just pray for Shane. God, thank you. Thank you for the man that he is. Thank you for the gifts that you have given to him. And Lord, would you just continue to use him, even in the hockey arena? Will you just use him as a light? And may he just be an example for other young men that might be coming up through the ranks of hockey, that he could just really lean into them and just give them some wisdom and some guidance. And ultimately, may he just show them who you are and who you can be in their lives. And we pray all this in your son's name. Amen. Thank you, Shane. Appreciate it, buddy. All right. Hey, guys, Shane's going to be out there in a minute if you want to get an autograph on something. But I just want to highlight, I talked to him about mentoring. And here at Cornerstone, we have a mentorship program. And I get it. Some guys are not ready to get back into a big group of men like what we have on Thursdays or what we have on Wednesday nights. But you can do a one-on-one mentorship. I believe as men, it is important for us to be mentored and to mentor others. I don't think it's an option. I think for men, it is something that we should be doing in our lives. This is how iron sharpens iron. This is how we get advice, godly advice. We get wisdom when we are being mentored by others, because they're going to be outside of the emotion of maybe some decisions that you're trying to make in your life. They're going to be able to speak truth to you, and they really don't care if you get mad at them. And just like Shane, when he was making some really tough decisions, he felt like he can go to his dad, his dad's going to share truth with him on whether he should be retiring or not. And he still leans on his dad. Well, we don't all have those kind of dads. And so this is one way that you can have a man in your life that you can really talk to, get advice from, at the same time get some spiritual direction. And what we've done is we have what is called a purple book that we use as that foundation that goes through and talks about who you are in Christ. It talks about your relationship to Christ. It talks about the Holy Spirit and the church. And these things that I believe as men we need to understand and know. These are fundamentals to the faith. And so when we dismiss you in a minute, if you're interested, you can sign up for our mentorship program here. You can use our men's app, CS Men, and you can fill out the application there. And then we also have the purple books. We have a bunch of them out there if you want to buy one and get ready to go. And we will try to find a mentor for you. And if you're already mentoring somebody, maybe this is your moment to step up and say, you know what, maybe it's time for me to mentor somebody else. I get it. Some people think, well, I need to be this huge theologian before I mentor somebody else. No, that's not true. Matter of fact, you might be the guy saying, I've made so many mistakes in my life, I can't mentor anybody. You know what? You're probably the best mentor because you can tell somebody else, don't go down that road. I did, and it's not worth it, okay? And so these are what we're looking for when it comes to our mentorship program. So I want to encourage you to think about and pray about being involved in our mentorship program if you're part of Cornerstone, or get involved in our Thursday program that will be kicking off in January, or our Wednesday program. So let's close in a word of prayer, and I'll let you guys get out of here. God, thank you for these men that showed up. Thank you for those that are even watching online. Thank you for the opportunity for us to see Bryan and just his crazy illusionist. I don't know how he did it, and I pray that he is a follower of you with some of the stuff that he did. It was really crazy. But then thank you for Shane and bringing him here tonight. Thank you for his testimony and what you've been doing in his life and what you will continue to do in his life. And I just pray for all these men here that you would bless them as they go from here tonight. And I pray that something that was said tonight would just be an encouragement to them. And I pray all this in your son's name. Amen. Hey, thank you guys. God bless you guys. Have an awesome, awesome rest of your weekend. Take care.